Hey, No Nation, what's going on? It's CJ Wilson here with Dope Talk. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Time to bring you some quick hitters in regards to recruiting. It's been a very busy week for FSU with visits. Kids have been in and out of the facility on campus, well, not participating, but rather watching practices and things like that. But before we get started and get into it, Dope Talk is brought to you by DASH.FI, the modern charge card for digital ad spend. DASH.FI is a business-to-business corporate expense card program that gives you the highest cash back on the market, starting at 3%. Most programs start you off at 1.5. With DASH.FI, we're going to get you out with 3%. Make sure you guys tap in. We have the link in the description, and also email my guy Chris if you guys have any issues with the link within the description. DASH.FI, we'll definitely take care of you. 3% versus 1.5. Anybody got those small businesses, tighten up and tap in with DASH.FI. Like I said, guys, it's been a hell of a week in regards to visits in and out. A lot of kids on campus. I can't get into all of the kids that have been on campus, because if I do that, we'll be here all day. But I will highlight some of the kids that kind of caught and how FSU proceeds moving forward. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The first name on the list, and the name that everyone's been waiting to hear, so to speak, and wanted to get back on campus. Five-star offensive lineman and FSU commit Solomon Thomas. He was on campus this past weekend and participated. Well, not participate. He's saying participating, right? Enjoying watching the FSU scrimmage that they had on Saturday. Thomas had a couple of quotes just talking about being back home and how great it felt. He has a great relationship with Coach Alex Atkins and Mike Norvell that spoke about how real those two are in regards to the message that they're giving him. Something that also stood out to me as well is that the FSU staff is encouraging him to take the visits that he's taking. The reason why, because they feel very confident in what they're doing at FSU and what they have to offer at FSU being very different from the rest of the country. So he also said that when you're away, you miss it as far as what FSU brings to the table. And when you're at other schools, you're trying to look for a replication of it, and it just isn't there. Coming back to FSU campus, it made him realize that, yeah, this is the reason why I committed to FSU. This is what really stands out to me in regards to my recruitment versus the other schools, etc. Some of the schools that is recruiting Solomon Thomas is all the in-state schools: University of Florida, University of Miami, and the LSU Tigers. We'll see. It's always, how can I put this? It's always you're rolling the dice when kids take visits and things like that. But from the sounds of it, Solomon looks locked in with his commitment. We just got to keep recruiting him and keep pushing, and lock things down once the papers are signed. So again, this is a recruitment that's far from over. Great job in regards to doing a great job in regards to holding on to the commitment of Solomon Thomas. Moving on, one seconds had a hell of a weekend, a hell of a week rather, and bringing in a lot of offensive linemen to come visit. Haywood, 5-star offensive tackle and number 10 overall player out of Denton, Texas, standing at 6'5", 285 pounds. This is his first weekend at FSU. Sorry, this is his first visit to FSU. He's staying all weekend, rather. My apologies on that. A couple other schools that's in contention for him: Alabama, Oklahoma, TCU, Texas A&M, and UCLA. It's interesting because whenever I said this in the previous recruiting video, I think FSU Tallahassee in general is a pretty special place. Once kids come to visit for the first time, it kind of catches their attention and heightens the interest in FSU, if that makes sense. So I say that to say this: I want to see, once his visit ends, to see Ty Hayward's thoughts on the visit rather, and also if he schedules a return visit, official visit, then we'll see rather how serious he is in regards to his recruitment with FSU. So that's something to watch out for. But again, big time offensive tackle out of Texas, Ty Haywood. Sticking with the offensive line, rather. Again, like I said, Atkins is doing a hell of a job. Micah Debose, 6'5", 315, 4-star offensive tackle from Mobile, Alabama, was on campus as well. After the visit, so FSU is definitely in his top 5 and maybe even his top 3 after a great visit. And he spoke some words in regards to Mike Norvell and the type of head coach he is. And this was a direct quote from Micah Debose. Say he would definitely play for him. You can take that for what it is. I don't think. Well, I'm not going to say I don't think. I think FSU is in contention now. After his visit, Alabama, LSU, and Auburn are some of the schools he's considering. He does have all crystal balls pointing to LSU. We'll see if Debose schedules a follow-up visit or official visit to FSU. Then we'll see how serious he is in regards to his quotes and FSU being top 5, maybe even top 3. We'll see how things go moving forward. Sticking with the offensive line again, Peyton Joseph, four-star offensive lineman, out of Georgia, and he's a University of Florida commit. It's been a very interesting development for Peyton Joseph. He's been on campus he's visited FSU twice this week for multiple days. So twice this week, multiple day visits is pretty crazy. He visited April the 2nd and April the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. The next offensive lineman we're going to talk about, like I said, Alex Atkins is doing a hell of a job of getting these guys on campus. Peyton Joseph. This is a very interesting one. Big time 4-star offensive line prospect out of Georgia. He is committed to the University of Florida. I say this is a big one because Peyton Joseph has been on FSU campus twice within the past week. He's been a frequent FSU campus stand for multiple days. It's very interesting. He's the cousin of FSU current offensive lineman and Alabama transfer TJ Ferguson. He spent a lot of time with Solomon Thomas as well. Like I say, he's committed to the University of Florida, but he's taken a very high interest in FSU and has been on campus multiple times. Has family ties to FSU. We'll see how things move forward with Peyton Joseph recruitment and how coveted he is from the FSU end. But in my opinion, I think FSU values him very highly. Like I said, he did commit to the University of Florida not too long ago, but he has a lot of interest in FSU. As the visit suggests, we'll see how this goes moving forward in regards to Peyton Joseph, see if he takes an official visit and take any more unofficial visits to FSU. This is a guy that I will put on flip watch moving forward, Peyton Joseph. So we'll watch out for him out of Georgia, 4-star offensive lineman. And like I said, he has a family ties to the staff with TJ Ferguson. And just, whenever you have that, those type of players kind of give you the real in regards to what goes on within the university. And I have no doubt in my mind that TJ Ferguson definitely loves what FSU is doing and is giving raving reviews, for the Florida State Seminoles. Let's get to some skill guys a little bit, right? Daylan McCutcheon, 4-star receiver, top 100 receiver out of Texas. Shout out to Coach Chris Thompson. He's doing a hell of a job in recruiting recruiting out of Texas. He is how can I put this? That's his region. He is the lead recruiter when it comes to the area recruiter, rather, when it comes to the Texas area. Has a lot of ties there. So when the area recruiter pretty much start the recruiting process off with said kid, and then the position coach kind of comes in from there. But yeah, Coach Thompson has done a hell of a job in Texas. But yeah, 4-star receiver out of Texas. He spent the whole weekend at FSU. This is his third visit to FSU. He did camp at FSU this past June, and he also was on campus for a game in November. So again, back on campus in April, has an official visit scheduled to FSU as well on June 21st. Ohio State, Texas, and USC are some of the other schools in contention. Not bad when you're in contention for a receiver, right? To be in the company of USC, Texas, and Ohio State. I do believe he has some family ties to the Tallahassee area. Don't quote me on this. I believe he does have family ties, whether it's family members that may have went to FAMU or Florida State, whatever it may be. I do believe the word is that he has some family ties to Tallahassee, so that may help. But he's a major player for FSU in this recruitment. He's one of the top receivers on their board. We'll see how things play out. Like I say, he's here for the whole weekend. So to see the scrimmage and see how the FSU coaches coach in person, it's going to be really big for Daylan. So we'll see how it moves forward within his recruitment and within his recruitment rather, and lead to that official visit in June. Daylan McCutcheon. My apologies if I mispronounced his name earlier. All right, guys, let's move on to the defensive backs. Lagonza Hayward, 4-star top 100 safety out of Georgia, stands at 6'1", 200 pounds. This is his second visit to FSU within the calendar year. Say he loves the visit and loves how he fits within the defense. Talking to the coaches, Coach Allen Fuller, and things like that, how FSU wants to use him is something that stood out to him. Bama and Tennessee are the other schools within this top three. Has official visits scheduled to all three schools. He did go on record earlier in the year saying FSU is his dream school. You guys know how that typically turns out with these type of players. So we'll see how that plays out moving forward within this recruitment. Alabama and Tennessee are the other two schools within this contention. But we'll see how things progress with Hayward moving forward. I like this kid a lot, big time playmaker. Again, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll have more quick hitters coming as far as recruiting. It's going to be a very busy season for FSU as we lead up to the spring game. Make sure you guys tap in and lock in with Dope Talk. We're going to have all the information for you guys moving forward. Again, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel. Go Noles.